I got a call asking if I could help a cat with a swollen belly. Supposedly, she once had a home, but was now unwanted. She'd been sleeping under a bush by this parade of shops for 8 months. I was told when she first appeared, the poor girl was so dirty she looked brown. I braced myself as I knew there was trouble ahead. The owner had already seen off an animal charity who recently tried to help. Scanning her microchip confirmed where she used to live. I checked she was female and instantly named her Peaches. And yes, that's because she had a peachy behind. Over the months, Peaches had done well putting up a brave front as she worked out how to survive. She approached customers as they arrived or collared them at the door. Peaches wasn't just begging for food, she wanted a home, like she once had. I asked around and handed out my details. Kind shop workers and customers had been feeding Peaches, but no one dared give her a home. The main reason for this stopped me in my tracks. Residents told me Peaches was known as the stray with cancer. Sadly, everyone knew the outcome would either be heartbreaking, expensive, or both. I was told a girl called Stacy knows more, so I arranged to meet her tomorrow. It was difficult to leave Peaches, as I knew where she'd be sleeping tonight, but I couldn't just take someone's cat. After a restless night, I headed back. An anonymous overnight message explained that Peaches had been left to fend for herself when the owner was forced away for 8 months. I was pleased and relieved to see her pretty little face again. I met Stacy, who was Peaches' main feeder. Initially, she'd been worried Peaches was pregnant. Coincidentally, Peaches' owner had returned, so Stacy asked permission to bring her to the vet for a fast scan. Worryingly, instead of finding kittens, the vet found a large abdominal mass. For a more detailed scan, the cost would be £500. The owner couldn't afford this, nor anyone else. This left Peaches unwanted and without hope. Locals warned me of a potentially volatile situation, but Peaches needed help, so I composed myself and knocked on the owner's door. I put forward my proposal, and contrary to what everyone expected, he said I could take her. I did, however, sense he could change his mind at any moment. I dashed back for Peaches, but when searching for her, a local man threatened me and tried to grab my camera.
Hey?
I zipped it in my pocket and quickly left. Thankfully, it didn't come to blows, but I'm always prepared, wearing trainers and a backpack so I can kick, punch and elbow. Early next morning, I was nervous, but back to rescue sweet Peaches. This wasn't the time to set the trap. I needed to be quick to avoid further trouble. In hope she wouldn't resist, I decided to do a smash and grab. Fasten your seatbelt, Peaches. We're out of here. Now home and safe in the rescue room. Peaches soon found the heat pad and nearly fell asleep sitting up. She'd had a turbulent past, even prior to homelessness. The poor girl was exhausted. I immediately applied to the microchip company for ownership. Peaches' current owner had 28 days to contest. Otherwise, Peaches automatically became mine. Until then, legally, I couldn't get a vet treatment, as it wasn't classed an emergency. With the worry of cancer, it was going to be a long 28 days. After recharging overnight, Peaches went from 0 to 100. Her microchip details showed her as a 6-year-old, but she was acting like a big kitten. In between playing, she really savoured her food. Shop customers had been feeding her anything and everything. So to help her digestion, I added pumpkin and a little oil to her food. I was well aware she may not have long left, so I tried to make her time as happy as possible. I slept in the rescue room so she wouldn't feel isolated and alone. After a couple of weeks, Peaches started to get a little restless. She'd exhausted all the toys, apart from the tunnel. For some reason, she just couldn't make herself walk through it. The resident rescue cats had been curious, so I decided to let Peaches mix with Priscilla and Madonna during the day. Peaches had good social skills and handled the dippy duo well. When it came to bedtime, though, the cheeky girl hid from me so she wouldn't have to go in the rescue room. Luckily, a few treats was all that was needed to persuade her. A month had now passed. Thankfully, the owner never contested. She was finally mine. I headed off to the vet. That time had arrived. The cat known as the stray with cancer would now get the treatment she needed. Oh no, we started with the weigh-in. Even after a month of not eating fast food, she was still a touch portly. As Nicoletta tried to locate the mass, the little monkey wouldn't stop wriggling. We had to keep bribing her with treats. Nicoletta couldn't be definite, so asked another vet to double-check. Matt also had a thorough feel, but nothing could be deduced with certainty. An ultrasound was needed. I nervously booked the appointment, knowing it would be the moment of truth. I may have some big decisions to make. It was a long day for Peaches, but she mustered the strength to eat. Now she was mine, I could let her outside to continue making the best of every day. She didn't hesitate to head out and investigate. Jasper from 2 Up set eyes on pretty Peaches. I could sense a little shyness, which was unlike him. He made his presence felt, and it didn't take long for Peaches to get curious. Every day she made me laugh with her antics. There was plenty of space to simply walk through the gate. She was very good really, and just came back inside when it was time. In many ways, she reminded me of dear Picasso. He also used to playfully hide behind the door to jump out at Madonna. If you haven't had the pleasure of seeing his rescue video, please do. Link in description below. It was vet day again. I woke to an ominous peach-coloured sky and just hoped it wasn't a sign. Peaches was checked in for the ultrasound. Unfortunately, sedation will be needed, as there was no way she'd stay still. This always comes with risks. I nervously left Peaches at the vet's and headed to the shops. I was trying to distract my mind from thinking of every worst-case scenario. Would the mass have spread? Is it too late? Would they operate today? What if they can't contact me? The vet called and asked me to come back to the clinic. I was so relieved to hear Peaches didn't have cancer. The mass that was originally found had gone. I would guess it was a large lump of ingested fur that had built up in her intestines. I had inadvertently cleared it with good food, pumpkin and oil. It was celebration time. She was very lucky. Her intestines could have eventually blocked, leading to an emergency situation. Peaches was actually a picture of health now. The vet had also removed heavy tartar from her teeth and took blood tests which showed no problems. Priscilla joined the celebrations and Peaches was about to put a cherry on top of an already wonderful day. She finally tackled the tunnel. Nothing could stop this little survivor.
You ready?
There was one other thing with Peaches, though. She didn't like being touched. I knew her previous home was complete chaos, and when she lived by the shops, children would chase and try to grab her. I gently patted her each day, and her tolerance slowly grew. This was no reason to keep Peaches waiting for a forever home. I started taking photos for her adoption post, but before I finished, an inquiry came in. After seeing her plight on social media, two of my most supportive followers, Teresa and Bob, offered her a home. They lived in the south of England, in a peaceful home with a large garden and a summer house. They had 3 rescue cats, 16-year-old female Beau, Drifter, who loves other cats, and main man Cassius Clay. Teresa and Bob said they would have adopted her even if she had cancer. They were such incredible people.
Ready?
A week passed as they prepared for their new arrival. They were due to collect her tomorrow. It was our last night together.
That's a good girl.
Teresa and Bob set off early on the 500-mile round trip to collect Peaches. They were due any minute. I had packed Peaches' favourite toys and treats that give her comfort in her new home.
Oh, I'm going to miss you.
Teresa and Bob arrived, and Peaches was very good. Her tail twitched with anticipation and a little uncertainty. She could sense something was about to change. It didn't take her long, though, to mark Teresa's handbag with her cheek. Bob was smitten with Peaches, and Peaches with Bob. It was our last moment together. After a life of turbulence and homelessness, Peaches was about to become a member of a large, happy family.
Oh, it's a warm little baby. Here we go.
See you, Peaches. Teresa and Bob soon sent videos. She settled in really quickly.
Good girlie.
It's been a couple of months now, and Peaches has gradually got to know the gang. The cat known as the Stray with Cancer finally got her fairy tale ending. Thank you to everyone who helped her along the way. Have a good life, Peaches. Like, comment, subscribe.